Hello, Cliff Stanwyck, Stanwyck Real Estate, and I am doing a real estate market update for May 2023 in South Placer County, and home prices are up. Thank you for joining me today, and haven't done this for about a month. I was almost doing it on a weekly basis, felt it was a little too much, but I did it about a month ago, and I'm doing it again. And the prices have been very resilient, but it is a tale of several little mini markets. There's the new home market, which is driving prices up. Those houses are selling for more. And then there's the what I would say the more appropriate priced houses, and they are selling in 20 days, and they are selling quickly. And then there's the 30-day or longer market, and surprisingly, those have an impact on higher prices as well, because those people are, or those sellers, they're just holding on to their price, and even though they take, months to sell, they're still not selling unless they get their price. So all this equates to essentially a market where the prices are increasing. We are seeing a little bit more inventory. I'm going to go over my disclaimer really quick, which is basically the material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. And let's talk about this market, right? So what I normally do is I have kind of bifurcated what I call existing homes, which are homes built before 2022, and then new homes, which are homes built 2022 or newer. Okay. So what we're seeing is in the resale part, which is basically what the existing homes are, we're seeing essentially quite the market here. There's 150 homes, and there's 110 that are pending. That means there's basically, about 40 days or 41 days of inventory in Roseville, and then approximately 66% of the pending homes, which are 72, are going in less than 20 days. Now, that doesn't include what I call the new actives, right? So when you add the new actives and the new pendings in it, we're basically less than a month of inventory, because right now you got 150 existing homes and you got 203. And then when you add up the 87 to the 110, you're really less than 30 days of inventory. But part of the problem with the days on market and the inventory is the new homes are never all on the market, right? So one of the challenges of the market is that the inventories are not true, right? But there are some information here that's worth looking at, and that is basically homes that sell in less than 20 days, and this is looking at the Roseville number. They're basically averaging, the average house is in contract in 8 days. Half the houses are in contract in 6 days, and we've gone over the reasons for that. It has to do with condition, quality, location, age, and after all, pricing. They're not overpriced, okay? And we've talked about the sellers who are not overpriced. Those are the people who are leaving the state and relocating. These are people whose relationship status has changed. There's either been a death or a breakup, and they're selling their house, and they're selling it, pretty much right. But if we look at the prices, and I really want to look at Roseville, because Roseville literally has over twice the inventory of Rockland and Lincoln and Granite Bay, and like 4 to 5 times what the inventory is in Loomis. So I like to focus on these, the homes that are built, like we've talked about. So let's look at this data here, because I think this is really, kind of interesting. The first thing I want to do is I want to go over essentially the fact that all these prices in Roseville, they are up over last month. They're up around 2%. Even though year over year they're down, they went up. And you can see it down on the bottom of this thing here. It's curving back up. Okay, so the prices are going up. If you look at the 1 year, it's bottomed. Technically, this market has somewhat bottomed. And I think one of the problems when you look at this is you look at this home value, this Zillow home value index methodology, and it's very confusing. Okay. And I'm just going to read you the confusion, right? It is essentially this part of the Zestimate here. The average Zestimate within some range of home values determines the index level, meaning the index retains its interpretation as a dollar value of a typical home. Monthly changes in the index are now calculated using a weighted mean of the appreciation of individual homes as proxied by changes in the Zestimate. The weight of each home in the index is proportional to its Zestimate in the first month of any monthly pair. For any geography or cut, index appreciation can now be interpreted as the market's total appreciation. In other words, the ZHVI appreciation can be used as the theoretical financial return that could be gained from buying all homes in a given subset by geography and or home type in one period and selling them in the next period, right? So this is their gobbledygook, right? And it says right now, and this went up from last month because I have the last month's report, these prices have gone up versus what the home values were a month ago. I should say at the end of March. So these prices are up, and every one of these prices in Rockland, they've gone up. It's up to 666. Lincoln's up to 626,498. Granite Bay is over a million, 1,086,086, and Loomis is at 864,482. Now, we had a sale in Loomis of 5.3 million, which was higher than most of the homes anywhere. So that is sort of the situation with the homes, right? So we're going to take a look at the Roseville homes, and we're going to look at all the variations of newer homes, homes that sold in 20 days, and homes on market greater than 30 days, and relative to the Zillow Home Value Index. So the big piece of the discussion in regards to the homes, especially in Roseville, is if we look at the Zillow home value number, and that's approximately $624,671. Now, we've talked about this a lot, but as you can see, it's the Zillow home value estimate is talked into as an average, okay? But when you really look at the median, which is half the houses are sold or half the houses are lower and half the houses are above, that is more appropriate what the Zillow home value estimate is saying. So, for example, new homes are selling for the median of new homes sold are about 650 or 49,000, which is approximately $23,000 higher than the Zillow home value average. But if you go to an average, it's 683,000, which basically is literally almost $60,000 more than what the Zillow home value index is. So there's a premium, and this is the point I'm trying to make, is there's a premium for new homes, right? And there's a big reason for that. The big reason is that you can get basically rate buy downs buying a brand new house, and the brand new house financing, and there's an article on my Facebook page, it's 5%. What's also interesting is the average 20-day sales, right? Now, the average 20-day sales, the median's about $654,000 versus the $626,000. So again, you're up about $28,000 for a newer home, right? And the average sold, right, is actually even higher, right, of those homes that went in 20 days. Now, I do have some, somewhat interesting statistics on some of the homes that are selling in less than 20 days. And I wanted to share that with you. And that is basically we had, I believe it was on the 20-day home sales, we had essentially, I think about 78 of them were sold in 20 days looking at the sold home data. So you would say, oh, if they're selling that quickly and you're telling me that half these houses sell in 6 days, we should have a lot of multiple offers? And the answer is we have a lot, but it's basically about half of them are getting multiple offers. And it seems to be that unless you have about 3 multiple offers, you're not really getting a premium over your ask price, right? So out of 78, we had about 28 over ask, so that's about 33%. So the answer to your question is the houses are selling quick, but they're not necessarily selling for more money. And that's kind of reflected in some of the data here, from the standpoint of the median sold. When I look at the whole population, is around 640. When I look at the median of the 20-day, it's at 654. And when I look at the median of the new homes, it's at 649. But in that, when I look at the median of the 30-day prices, which is the houses that are longer on the market, they're at 630, right? So, that is really the story of this market, okay, just to share with you, right? And I think that's the conclusions that I really want to point out, that really there's the market dynamics are this. We're not at a bottom anymore. And to be frank, if people are buying new homes versus resale homes and the prices reflect that, they're also buying them because they can get 5% interest rates. That means if you're reselling a house, you should really think long and hard about contributing 1 to 2% of the sale of your house to buy down the loans, because that's what the resale houses, or I should say, that's what the new construction houses are doing, right? So again, when you look at the data, and I'm just going to take a look at it one more time, the market is still great, okay? And, when you look at the number of pendings and solds, right, basically the new homes are not keeping up. There's 87 new pendings, but there was 78, sales in the 20 days. But when you look at the number of houses that were sold, the median prices for the new houses is 649. The median prices of the new house of the 20-day sales are 654. And those are primarily houses that are upgraded. They have pools, they have solar, they have new floors or appliances, or they've been updated, or great landscaping, right? So, getting back to the key here, you have to sell your house in 20 days, and your house has to be nice to sell in 20 days. But when you look at the average of the sales, right, of the whole median sold of the whole population, it's down at 640, right? So you have 640 versus the 20-day sale that is at 654 versus the 20-day sale of the new property at 649. That means that these houses that are on the market over 30 days, they're the ones that are pulling down the market. And they're still above the Zillow home value estimate, right? So that's another reason why I'm making the comments that I'm making. It was in prior market updates, if you go back and you watch the videos, that the homes that were 30 days on the market were below the Zillow home value estimate. That has changed, all right? And I think, again, it's really important that you realize that the prices are not going up because of the cost of money, but the inventory is offsetting a lot of the impact of the cost of the money in the form of the demand for housing is still very strong, although the inventory is very weak, right? So a lot of buyers right now, if they have resold their house, are finding out that the new home is very expensive. And if you're looking at a luxury builder like Toll Brothers, for example, and I just throw that out because everybody knows Toll Brothers, you're finding that your money doesn't go that far. And in some cases, you're not getting a bigger lot or even a bigger house. You're just getting a new house, right? And a new house does matter because the cost of money to repair an old house, as I've done in other videos, is a problem. So at the end of this process, we've hit a bottom. Prices are going up. Depending on what happens with the rates, I don't think this year is going to be a great year for appreciation. But I assure you that if we see any reduction in the mortgage interest rates, like if they get down to 5%, they're 7 right now, so it's going to take a lot to get there. But if they get under 6, we're going to see a very robust market because of the rate buy downs that people will do to get into the fives. But if we can get back towards 5%, I think this market is going to be surprisingly expensive. It's expensive now, but I think it'll be mind-blowing expensive in 2024. So with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope you appreciate the market update. I'd really appreciate it if you would follow me on Facebook at Cliff Stanwyck Real Estate, or subscribe to my YouTube channel at Cliff Stanwyck Real Estate. And I can always be reached at stanwyckre.com. I'm here to help, and I love talking real estate. As you know, I live in Loomis, and South Placer is what I sell. I've lived in Roseville. I moved to Loomis. This is an area I really enjoy living in, and I enjoy selling real estate as well. With that, I wish you all the best in your hunt for home in 2023. Thank you.